And over the weekend, we also heard of a story of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAM. You know, they said that they've begun an expedited review of the 2025 UTME process following wave of complaints from candidates, you know, across the country. But BK, I'm sure you heard all of these complaints talk about students talking about this issue of UTME, technical glitches, errors, mass failure. Okay, is this an indication of, you know, the state of Nigeria's educational sector?
Well, is there any sector that is not challenged in Nigeria? It's not the mass failure that I'm bothered about. But if there are glitches,
yes,
those glitches must be addressed. And the victims of the glitches deserve to be given another chance to write the exam. It's as simple as that, if there are glitches. But the issue of mass failure is not peculiar to UTME. There is usually mass failure in the school certificate examination.
Okay, why?
Whether it's GCE, the external exam, or the May-June school certificate exam, that usually mass failure. Any exam that you conduct, because students do not study hard like before anymore. The internet has made students lazy, and the phones have become such a massive distraction to studying hard. You want to stay on social media, you know you have an exam to write. Those distractions are costing students successes in their exams. So I know that there are issues around that. So if there is mass failure, you cannot force JAM to lower its standard because you don't want to see many people fail.
Exactly.
Whether it's NECO or mass failures continue to happen, and it's not something that just started today. JAM has shown over time that the integrity of its examinations cannot be questioned.
Okay.
Even federal agencies, JAM conducts examinations for them, customs, the rest of them, even the armed forces.
Okay.
So I believe that JAM is good enough to conduct these examinations. But the argument that, oh, somebody scored 6 distinctions in the GC and then does not deserve to score 160 in JAM. There is no scientific way that you can justify such an argument. We've seen people who failed an exam and prepared hard and did very well in subsequent exams. So the same way that somebody can work hard after failing an exam, do it again and score high grades is the same way that somebody can do very well in an exam and then do another or a similar exam and fail. Those things happen. So, but if there are glitches and unusual complaints as we are getting, those complaints must be addressed.
And in fact, some are even calling for cancellation. Some are calling for receipt of the examination. Do you agree with this?
Well, it depends on what the investigation will, you know.
Should there be like some sort of independent forensic investigation?
No, they will, because I know JAM said they are going to review, you know, what happened. They are going to investigate what really happened. Based on what some people are talking about, glitches, technical glitches, and all that, you know, they will actually check if it is true or not. You know, there was even some people complained that some of the exam started at 6:30 a.m.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people were complaining about that, you know. So, well, even I think we were even discussing this yesterday in the newsroom, and we are thinking, is it not high time that JAM started, you know, doing things the way it's done elsewhere? Whereby, if I want to do JAM, for instance, whether I am at home, I should be doing JAM at home. Since it's CBT, it's called CBT. I don't need to go to any center at
But
home.
another thing.
No, you can't do it at home.
No, I'm just.
If you are doing it at home, for example, now you sit for JAM, you are not allowed to bring in.
No,
Okay, to
yes,
defeat the
Yes,
the
if you are
integrity.
inside your
wait,
house,
this is
The
how,
integrity.
You can cheat.
This is how it can be done. A laptop with a video, you must be on 24/7.
Okay, your
Then
face
it's
must
being
be-
timed. It's being timed.
Okay.
It's 60 minutes. It's maths.
But
it's
let's
English.
also look
yeah,
at
but that there are wristwatches now that you can use to cheat. How do they ensure that you don't cheat?
No, it's timed. So before you look at your wristwatch, your time is going.
No, but you
know?
can. You see,
So that-
but you can still cheat. They don't want to leave room for cheating,
But-
and they've told us that it's even one of the reasons why there was high level of failure, because they blocked avenues through which people are cheating the
Okay,
system.
you think JAMB has actually sorted out the issue of the amount?
Did you see the video? Did you see the video of the JAMB boss and the Minister of Education monitoring real time the examinations taking place in the various centers? They had a giant screen where they were monitoring what was going on in the centers. So they don't want, they tell parents, don't accompany your children to the, because some parents also help to cheat.
Exactly.
Some people
Exactly.
even hire other people to come and write for them.
Okay.
So JAMB is trying its best to ensure that the avenues through which you can't take your phone into the exam hall, for example, because you use it to cheat.
Another thing is, let's talk technology, the CBT. How technology savvy are the students?
No, if you're talking about that,
The issue of technology.
the children of nowadays, even BK will tell you.
Could it be a
it's
reason for the mass failure?
Children of nowadays, if you talk about technology, they know technology more than you do, because they are on their answered 24/7. The things
No,
that
for
they know,
rural areas, and
the-
many of them may not be
the things that they
technological.
know, you are thinking.
And they will go to
They'll
where
go through where
it's
they
present.
are doing it now. They'll go to the CBT centers.
For example, in
and
my
then, you know,
community now, somebody built a computer lab,
yeah.
so that the students can do the CBT right there instead of traveling to the next village.
You know, so they have a way of doing these things. Technology, if you talk about technology, most
It's not the first
children-
time that they will do
most
computer-based
children
testing.
from age 15, even 8, they know what is inside this.
Of course. And
So
they've
you
been
will be shocked.
receiving lectures. They've been receiving lectures online.
Online.
A lot of
As in
these.
even what you go during COVID, my children that were in primary school, they were receiving lectures online. They would just, okay, this is what they do. You give them laptop, before you know, they're already in class.
Now, for this mass failure, what would you suggest? Should we do some sort of total overhaul, you know, in the
Overhaul
teaching
of what?
profession, in
What they
the
are saying is-
educational sector?
See, what they are saying is that it's only a few states. It's only from a few states that they are getting these complaints. They need to identify where those states and address the problem. Honestly, if it's mass failure,
Yes.
let's tell ourselves standards have gone down. Standards have gone down. That is a fact. But even in the midst of this, there are still exceptional students who have done well, who are not victims, who cannot be said to have been affected by what has happened.
Your child, for instance.
My own son scored over 300.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I also know somebody who scored 368. Another one 370. 98, 98, 98, 98, 98, 98, and 70 in English. Physics, chemistry, biology, 98 each, and then 70 in English. One boy. So in the middle of this, there are people,
That's still
students who have done exceptionally well.
Exactly.
Those who scored above 300, they are more than 7,000. They are more than 7,000.
In fact, BQ,
Those who scored above 320, 320 for example,
Yes.
I think they are about 4,000 plus, because I have the data. So it's not like a very bad, like a totally bad outcome when you look at it. Trying to get it's not for some of the students. It is not surprising that they've done that well. Some students with very good record, they have see, there's a boy, Toluwa Lashe scored 370. This is his result. Toluwa Lashe, because JAMB will send you your registration number and everything. So now, those who score 320 and above, 4,758, 320 and above. Those who score 300 to 319, 7,658. Those who score 300 and above, 12,414. Those who score 250 to 299, 73,441. Those who score 200 to 249, 334,560. That's those who scored 200 to 249. Those who scored 160 to 199, 983,3187. That's like 50%. Okay, that's 160 to 199, 50.29% scored it. So 120 to 139, 57,419. And then 100 to 119, 3,820. So even if you look at the failure rate below 100, 2,031. So it is bad, but not extremely bad, because when you look at the number of people, yes, those who scored,
people are looking from 200
yes,
to 300.
those who scored 160 to 199, they are 50.29%, and they are 983,000. So that is huge, still.
True.
That is huge. If they were in that, those ones would have scored P7, P8, for example.
Yes.
If it was so, or E, as the case may be.
Now, looking at, BK, you talked about, yes, standards are falling. Let's look at low-hanging fruits. What should
you do hear Fashola what he was saying about even the training of lawyers? He was saying that standards are falling. Yes, Fashola spoke at a recent event. Our standards are falling.
I mean, the banking sector was reformed.
Look at judges. Yes. The way we used to venerate judges. The Cowdeya Shores, the Oputa, the Chukwudifo Oputas, the Aniagolus. We don't get such quality of judges anymore. Very cerebral judges that people will be citing their judgment, the quality of elocution. We don't get. I mean, who is the judge that people really talk about him these days? The way we used to talk about Chukwudifo Oputa, Cowdeya Shore, Aniagolu, Fred Anyaigbunam in those days. So it's a cross-country thing. Falling standard is not, even in journalism, standard is falling.
So it's a societal thing.
Yes, it's a problem.
It's a big problem.
Even in journalism, standard is falling. We can see it now. The things that the older journalists cared about, today's journalists are not interested. People are just after money.
But if education is falling this way, then our future, we should be scared for the future.
We have to be very, we are afraid.
We should be worried.
Because, and that is why parents too, we parents, we need to also start looking at what our children are really reading. Schools, what are they even teaching our children?
The quality of instruction is going down. They do remember the commissioner in Kwara State who conducted exam for teachers. He conducted the same exam for teachers and their pupils. Pupils passed, teachers failed. You know, Bolaji Abdullahi.
Yes.
He was commissioner.
I think from Edo State
also
did something like that.
Did that now. But when pressure came, election issues, he brought them back after firing them.
You understand?
So it's not.
It's an holistic thing that we need to look at. The structures are getting bad and bad.
Talking about parents.
Many people, so-called graduates, have you not seen so-called graduates who cannot even defend their degrees?
Absolutely.
These days, you see Yahoo boys. They don't go to class, but they pass.
Yeah, exactly.
They will give their teachers money. How do they do it? And you don't want standard to fall?
My junior brother who works in a bank told a lady, okay, write a formal letter to the branch manager.
Oh.
And she could not. Oh, where should the address go? Where should...
Meanwhile, that lady, I can bet you, if you look at the phone,
maybe it's called 2-1.
She's using.
Maybe not 2-1.
Exactly. Of course. If you look at the phone she's using, you'll be shocked. You know, so I think parents, we have a lot of work to do. I know when BK...
Why are you concerned about the phone?
No. You know, because we have a lot of... You know, I remember when BK was saying something about his son. The number of teachers and the effort is making to make sure that the son does not fail.
Teachers.
You need to have extra
teachers. It costs money.
Not just about the parents alone, but okay, fine. It costs a lot of money, you know, and then you must know what your
parents
children are
even supposed to help their children to do the assignments.
Absolutely.
These days we leave everything to the teacher. When I was growing up, my two parents, both of them are teachers. My assignment, they will help me with my assignment. We are too busy these days. Some of us, our children don't even see us.
Google know everything. So go and Google it.
We come home very late at night. The children hardly even see us. It's the housemates that interface more with our children. Before they will have gone you will have gone to work before they even wake up.
Sure.
Especially when you live in a rat race environment like Lagos.
Like Lagos.
You wake up maybe like 4 a.m. in some cases. You are going to work. The children are yet to wake up.
I mean, like back in the day, Franco Lise, you know, before the start of the, you say, where are you? Do you know what your children are doing right now? You know, but so, as parents, so that means parents actually dropped the ball.
Oh, we did.
No, parents need to support the teachers.
We need to just support,
we need to support the teachers.
The teachers, you know, we need to support the teachers because we shouldn't just leave everything
to them.
When once they go to school, come back, look at what they are doing, ask them questions. How was school yesterday? Okay. What did you fail? Okay. Why did you fail? Because this is how it's been done. You know, spend more time with them.
Okay, but
look at the assignment.
They are doing. When once you see it, okay, they didn't do what. Okay. If we continue that, you know that you need an extra teacher.
And then inculcate the spirit of studying in them so early. Get them to be interested in reading so early. By the time they grow up, my younger brother, Tokumbo, our last born, we used to send him back to sleep because he would be reading and reading and reading. Late into the night, sometimes it's my dad who would force him to go and sleep.
But right now,
as a little boy then,
watch TV all
he was Tokumbo. Tokumbo, as a secondary school student, was already writing letters to the editor to the news magazine when he was in SS1. And Muyiwa Adekeye, who was editor of the news at that time, told me that they didn't have to change anything.
No typographical error.
He did sciences, yet it's called a distinction in English. He's a medical doctor now.
Some graduates cannot write.
You see, the thing is, from the beginning, a child interested in success, who wants to score in excess of 300 in JAMB and all that, must be very hardworking. You look at those women, look at the girls. The girls are coming in our country.
Sure. Yes.
I am a manager here. There was a time we conducted tests we wanted to employ people. We had no choice. For the slots that were available, only women took those slots. Because if you use merit, you see that the women are better.
Absolutely.
A lot of the boys are not interested in anything anymore. It's just Yahoo and just playing around. But the girls, look at the girl who led JAMB the other day, the one that we gave a gift. That girl.
Not the other one.
Not the fake one that some people are supporting. Exactly. That girl now, look at what she scored. And she said, look, I read hard. Success will bring you the right results.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
There may have been problems with JAMB, but we must not be led to believe that, oh, it's all bad. JAMB can defend a lot of the results that have happened. In this same exam, we saw people scoring over 300.
Absolutely. But what would you tell the Minister of Education right now on the standard of education? What would you suggest?
No, we have to keep bringing in technology. The quality of instruction teachers must be properly trained. A lot of the teachers in our schools are not professional teachers. Many of them just found themselves teaching because they could not find any other job to do. They have no training. Teaching is a profession. There's a lot about it that people don't know. The psychology of the student. Before you can be a good teacher, you must understand psychology of the pupil. And if you don't get that right, you will see that you are struggling, you are not doing well. And sometimes you change a teacher and a boy will start doing very well.
Okay, yeah.
Because the place of psychology, they've not looked at the place of psychology. You know? Sometimes you psych a boy, maybe you'll get a clinical psychologist to speak to your boy.
Sure.
You see that things will change. Sometimes the big decisions that we make the difference between success and failure.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you need to let your son go to boarding house, for example.
Exactly.
I did it to my son. And after that, he came back, he came up with 6 distinctions. And he was struggling before then. And now, if I leave this boy at home, go to boarding house, where some of the thing that I was doing at home, he will have no time.
Exactly.
So much scrutiny there. You know, so sometimes the decisions that we make can actually make a big difference.
Absolutely.
So I know that there's still a long way to go.
Yes.
The quality of instruction in our schools must improve. Let's face it.
Completely.
The quality of teachers must get better.
Yes.
If teachers are failing exams that they set for them and their students, then something is wrong. And they will bring, Governor Zulum was talking to me about one time. They said even some of their people, including head teachers, could not pass exam that they set. And the exam that they set is primary 6 level. Some still failed. So those who failed, are they qualified to be teaching?
All right, then. I think it's a fine place for us to leave it. It's a fine place for us. How time flies when we talk Nigeria, when we talk education, Rivers State. But anyway, Asuko James, thank you so much for doing this.
We wish Fubara well.
Exactly.
Yes,
we
yes,
wish him
yes.
well. Yes, we wish him well. BKO, as always. Thank you.